I'm going to talk a little bit about Flubaroo, which is an add-on in Google Sheets, which anybody can use, but it's especially useful for future teachers like myself. So first of all, you're probably wondering how to install Flubaroo because this is pretty important if you want to use it. So first what you do is you go to a Google Sheet that you would like to grade or an assignment that you have already had the kids do. And in order to get a Flubaroo assessment responses sheet like this, you would first have them take a survey or fill out a form, and you would go through the responses and have it develop a sheet for you, and this is what you get. So then, in order to get Flubaroo to grade this assignment, you would click on add-ons, and I have already downloaded Flubaroo, so it already comes up for me right here. But had I not downloaded it, I would click Get Add-ons, and once that popped up, I would be able to type Flubaroo in, and as you can see, it pops right up for me right here because I've already had it and I have searched it a couple of times. So it says manage because it's already been downloaded, but had it not been downloaded like this one, this blue dot that says free would pop up and you could click on it and that would download it for you. Once it has been downloaded, you can begin grading the assignments that you want it to do. This is extremely nice for when you have quizzes or tests that are multiple choice especially, but even short answer and fill in the blank can also be graded in a simple manner. So in order to grade the assignment, you click on add-ons, Flubaroo, and most cases this would say grade assignment, but because I have already graded it and done everything up to this point, it says regrade assignment. So you will click on it, and this notification will not pop up if you have not already graded it, but it says this will replace your existing grades. Are you sure you want to continue? And I will say yes. And then this option will pop up and enter grading options. Now, of course, the first questions I've asked are name and email address, and so those are not worth any points, as you can see, because it's not an actual question on the quiz. Here you can see questions 1 through 6, and they're all worth 1 point. You can change it and make it worth as many points as you'd like, but for this purpose, I'm just going to keep it as 1, and I'll hit continue. And then it says, please select which submission should be used as the answer key. Now, when I did mine, I had named it key so I would know right away, and so I would know which one to click on without it being confusing. So I clicked on key here, and I'll press continue. And it says grading your assignment, and of course this will take just a little bit of time, but not too much. And then it will pop up as saying grading complete. So we'll be able to see this. So again, here we have our student submissions, and we will now talk about the grades as we have them over here. So down here at the bottom, you can see that we have 2 different small tabs within our Google Sheet. Of course, the student submissions, you can see what they answered and all the questions. And then where it says grades, you can see there's many different things that pop up. And so we'll take a closer look at this sheet. First, we have this summary up here. And so it just tells us a little bit about the assessment that was taken. Points possible, there was 6. Remember, each question was worth 1 point, so we have 6 questions. Average points that the class had was 4. Counted submissions was 2. And number of low-scoring questions was 3. So as you can see, only 2 people have taken this quiz. Most of the time it would be a larger number if you had a whole class take this or something. But for this purpose, that makes no difference. Now we have the identifications here where you can see the time that this was submitted, the names of the 2 people who have completed this, and their email addresses, which are very important because later we will see how we can email those people. So then total points, we have that our first person that took this quiz received 5 out of the 6 total points, and our second person received 3 out of the 6 total points. And then here it gives us a percentage. 5 out of 6 turns into 83.33%, and 3 out of 6, of course, is 50%, as we know. Now, many of you will notice right away the different colors that happen to pop up here. The second person here is highlighted in red, and that is because his total percent was less than 70%. Later, we will talk about how that can be changed, but for now, it's 70%. It is just a warning. Maybe you want to make sure that students typically get an 80% or a 90% and you want to help them raise it. So that just kind of brings awareness to that person so you know who to help and what to help them on, which is really, really important. And then these orange questions here show us that as a class, which again, this class for this example is only 2 people, so there would be more people usually factored into this orange part. But this means that as a class, this question was answered correctly 60% of the time. So we can see that the class only answered it correctly 50% of the time. So it is highlighted in orange because of that. Now, since it is graded, we can view the graded report, which is really, really interesting, and it's just another thing to look at once everything has been graded. So in order to get there, we click on Add-ons, Flubaroo, and come to View Report. So we hit that, and it might take us a little bit to get there, and we will soon see a report that shows us exactly kind of a broad overview of what the students have done. So report responses, points possible. This was kind of in our summary that we have just looked at on the other sheet. Average points, counted submissions, and then you can just see a histogram of the grades, which is pretty cool to check out, especially as a teacher, and you just want to see how everyone did. Now you can email this report to yourself, and if I do that, it'll show up on my email, of course, and that is where I can download it. But other than that, right here, your only option is to email me the report. Then we want to check out that you can also email the grades. So these individuals have taken the quiz, I've graded it for them, and now, of course, they're probably very curious about what they got. So we go to Add-ons, Flubaroo, and Share Grades. Now, I've already shared these grades with these individuals, so you'll be able to see how I did this. This process takes just a little bit. As you can see right down here, it's working on it, and it'll soon pop up, and we'll get a form for that. We'll be able to type in their email addresses. Well, in fact, it does it for us because they have already done it. So it says email address question, email address. And then grade sharing method would be share via email. So you can include the answer key if you want. Of course, that's up to the teacher. You can include a message. When I shared this with them, I said, great job. And you can continue and share that with them. Now, again, I have already shared it with them, so this pops up and notifies me that I've already shared it with them, but otherwise it would pop up with a little notification that says your email has been sent. So that's another great thing to note. Now, Flubaroo grades the assignments, as we know, but there's also some advanced settings that we can check out along the way as well. So once you hit Flubaroo, you can see that the word advanced comes down here, and we have advanced options. So, of course, there is quite a few there. We'll click on those and check those out. There's options for this spreadsheet only. You can change different things on this specific spreadsheet. Percentage which students' info is highlighted in red. Remember that I said it was 70%. Now, if you want to make sure you click this as 80%, so you want the students to be doing really well, and if they're doing less than an 80%, it's going to highlight it just to make you aware. So you can do any percentage that it has here from 50 to 100%. It all just depends on what you want to show up in red and make you aware.